Hello everybody, this is TechStack here. And guys, guess what? I'm preparing for an Alpha 2 release of my mod. And I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what all that mod has in it. As you can see here in the world before me, we have a ton of machines that you can ride on in the game. And there's different variations of some of these. So there's a semi with different types of trailers that can hold different machines and carry them around. There's a tractor that has various types of attachments for farming. Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff, guys. So let's get into this. So here's my first one. This is the bulldozer. You can drive it around the world just like any of the other machines. It has a bucket. All of these machines basically work off of two buttons. Your jump key that raises things or does an up function, and a sprint key that does a down function. The bulldozer itself, when you drive it forward with its bucket down, it will start digging down below it and continue to do so. If I raise it back up to like a level position, I will dig too deep in front of it. Let's see. Get back here a little bit, and I'm going to make a little path right here because we're going to use this path for one of the other machines. That's probably good enough for demonstration purposes. I'm going to hop off this by hitting shift, and I'm going to go on to the next machine. And the next machine is the tractor. The tractor has an inventory. You can see it's got 8 slots of inventory. I'm going to hop over here to this specific tractor because this tractor has a trencher in the first slot, which is what gives it that attachment in the back that you can see. If I move forward in this, it doesn't do anything until I hit the control key, and then it starts making a one wide ditch behind it. I'm going to go down here just a little bit. I'm going to hop out. I'm going to grab myself a water bucket, and we're going to fill it in with water because when you're farming, your crops need to be irrigated with water in Minecraft. Okay, so now we can hop into the next one, which is a planter, and we need some seeds for this. Oh, no, we need to get the one that has the plant plow first on it. So let's go over here, and of course we're in a biome where the stuff's going to freeze and it's going to mess it all up. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to hold control. And here we go. We're plowing the land behind us in a 3-wide path. Good there. Now let's hop in this before all that land or that water freezes. And we're going to throw our seeds in here, and I'm going to give myself a couple more seeds. And we're going to go over here, hold control over top of all this tilled land. And we're going to plant those seeds. And it works with more than just seeds. It works with other crops. We actually have a crop in... or I've added corn to the game. Let's hop back in here with some corn in this instead in the first slot. And hopefully we've got a couple of pieces that I missed. I did. And we can plant the corn. See, there's corn planted right there. I'll hop out of that. There we go. And the final one that I've got here is the sprayer. So we need some bone meal. Here we go. And let's put the bone meal in here, and it will bone meal your crops for you. I'm going to drive past some of these. I want to get that corn bone mealed. It does use bone meal pretty quick because in this version of Minecraft, bone meal goes through pretty quick. You can see the corn there fully grown. The next one's kind of just a machine that was added for getting tall grass. The tall grass will eventually, not yet, eventually have a use in the mod to make silage for feeding animals. But for now, it's just for making this fun blocks. Like, you can make patterns in your yard with this. 'Cause if I turn this way, the grass that it is mowing is oriented in that direction. So you can make these lines in the ground just like you would in the real world if you mowed in a certain direction. So just a fun little machine for mowing your grass. And yes, this mowed grass block, it will, this one here, it will grow back over time. So it'll turn into regular grass and you have to mow your yard again. Yeah. Valentine in the stream chat, and hi Ronnie. When is it going to be released? I'm going to release the version that we have here, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Just because I'm tired of not having it released. So we're going to. Some of the stuff I'm going to show you may not fully function, like the asphalt piece. You can't make raw asphalt right now, but you can make the machines to do it. Maybe you can creatively cheat it in, I don't know. But this release that I'm going to do is going to be an alpha release, which means it's going to be buggy and incomplete. It's like a developer's version. Oh. Okay, so there's all the animals dying underneath me. And I've got this paver, here's what we're in, and we need to put raw asphalt into the paver. And we need to go over a hole, basically. And what the paver does is it puts down uncompressed asphalt. beneath it. We can see that we've got this uncompressed asphalt that we're laying down. Once I get to the end of this here, there we go. Gonna hop off, jump out of F5 mode so it's a little easier to see, and I'll walk across it and you'll see nothing special happens because we haven't rolled the asphalt yet. So let's get on our roller, go on over there. And by the way, I was holding control down when I was using that paver to tell it I want to place those blocks in that spot. It is selective like that. So if I hold down control when I'm on top of this, you can see it is compressing the... So we've got the bagger, we've got the tractor we talked about, and here is the drilling rig. The drilling rig, we kind of need stone to show off the drilling rig, so let's get some stone. Because in the mod, there is the ability to... wow, that's in a horrible spot. Let's put some stone over here. Make explosives, blast the ground, which I will show off over there in a bit. But let's jump in the drilling rig and show it off. So we can drive over here and we can lower our arm, which is the drilling rig itself, the drill. And once it's down all the way, you can see over here on the left side of my screen at the top, over top of the fuel gauge, which all these do require fuel, we'll get our depth indicator. And there we go. We've got drilled stone in the world. So there's that piece. We also have a hand drill. And the hand drill, instead of being a vertical hole, is a horizontal hole that it creates. When I right click, you can see it drilled this way. The drilled stone would drill straight down if there was more stone underneath it. Yes, I've made all of this. The dump truck that we have in the game actually will accept items. We'll render those items in its bed. If I put more than one, it'll accept more than one. I'll put anything I want in it. Get inside of it, you can see all the items I just dropped in it, and I can drive them around wherever I want in the world. Hit F5 here, and I can raise my bed up and drive away. If I wasn't in creative, they would have dropped on the ground, but instead, because I was in creative, it sucked back into my inventory. You can see the hand drill actually made it there, and I didn't pick it up. Next, we'll go on to the loader. And I just realized I missed something with the bulldozer. Remind me about trees in the bulldozer, guys. The loader can pick up soft materials similar to the bulldozer. However, it is designed with a special purpose of being able to pick up blasted stone. So why don't we go ahead, you can see I've got dirt in it, and if I raise it all the way up, it'll dump it off into the world again, which is very handy for dumping it into your dump truck. So let's come over here to our blasting area and get this show on the road. Let's clear our inventory of all junk. Go up to the chest, grab all this stuff. There we go. And I've pre-drilled the holes next to some ores to make it a little bit more convenient for myself. And I'm going to start putting in explosives into these holes, and it will go down to the bottom block that is drilled stone and fill it up from the back all the way to the top with the explosives, and we get turned it into this explosive pack stone. This explosive stone works a little bit different than TNT. TNT in the world normally will blast, blow up, detonate, and then any other TNT that gets hit by it will turn into ignited TNT, right? That ignited TNT then gets hit by another blast and can fly further away. This doesn't behave that way. It will instead, we give it a redstone signal, detonate, and any other block that it hits that is explosive pack stone will instantly turn into another explosion. So, boom. You can see there was a little bit of lag because I create blocks that have gravity. I create this blasted stone, so it's like a falling sand entity, but in addition to that, it will, if I place it on this block, fall off the edge of that block, and then hit this one, and fall off of it, and fall down here because it tumbles down a hillside. You might be saying to yourself, why would you want that? Well, that's how it really works in the real world, right? They blast, all those materials that gets blasted fall down into it, and will just form kind of a cone shape, basically. Let's go over here into machines and get the loader, because that's what the loader was really made for. Let's get it like right here, maybe. That's probably a good spot. And we can turn this around, and it will start picking up this blasted stone. If I get over here, oh, let's go down. Go back into F5 mode. It's easier to drive these things in F5 mode in most cases. You'll see that the stone starts tumbling down and keeps falling into the bucket, so it makes it so that you can pick this stuff up much faster. But yeah, that's what that's for. And once I get all this stuff, you can see there's some blasted ore variations in here. We got blasted stone, blasted granite, blasted andesite, blasted lapis, blasted emerald, blasted gold, there's blasted diamonds, there's blasted every ore. So there's blasted diamond I'm standing on right there. You can see it right there. All of these different blasted materials can be thrown into my crusher. I'm trying to think what it's called. Crusher. There we go. And we need some fuel for the crusher. Okay, so let's place down the crusher and get that fuel tank back that I dropped. And we'll right click on it so it fills it up with fuel. And let's start chucking in the diamonds first. You can see as soon as I threw it in there, it spit out 2 diamonds instead of 1. If I throw in blasted stone, that's not going to give us anything useful. Emeralds, same thing, it'll give us 2. Let's go down here and grab some of these blasted ores. There's some iron. The iron's really kind of, regular ores are kind of better than the gems. The gems get doubled. The ores though, you can see I got 3 iron dust from this, so I can smelt this down into 3 iron ingots. So it's a way of tripling your iron basically by using the crusher. Part of the mechanics for this also is you can drop the items from the loader into the dump truck or into the conveyor systems. Conveyors in the mod will push items around, push entities around. If I step on this, it's going to pull me along the conveyor, even lift me up the side of it. Then we can drop these things down into a screen. A screen in my mod is like a sorting block. You can sort items in their various directions based on what they are. So let's not stand on the conveyor. Clear my inventory first again, and let's grab a little bit of each one of these things and toss them all into the conveyor system. Let the conveyor do its thing, and I'm going to throw a bunch of cobble at the end here so we can watch the cobble go through. So you can see everything that is not diamonds or iron ore is going straight in this one, and anything that is diamonds or iron ore is going out the individual sides to their proper locations. All of the cobble that got on this conveyor belt should have ended up here in the lava because that's how we have it set up. All the cobble goes west. If I hit F3 and look right here, west is this direction in the game, and I accidentally hit the wrong button. And everything else that is not an item, which is this is the south direction here, or was not in the sorter, ends up coming out that. So any side that doesn't have a item in it gets set along the default direction. So we got bones over here, diamonds over here, and iron over there. So it's a quick way to make sorting. You can really compact this down. I just left it bigger so that it's easier to see the items flowing along the conveyor system right at the moment, because you could really have this sort of screen to screen to screen to screen and sort everything out one block within 1 block distance basically. So we got those 3 down. We've got the bagger, we've got the dump truck. Let's go over the grader, and we made a nice little hole for the grader to work with here. So I'm going to grab some dirt. Grader is really designed to make land flat. That's kind of what they do in the real world, so that's what I made them do in Minecraft. So if I place down dirt here, we can take the high spots off, and we can use that dirt to fill in the low spots. Now, the model on this one's really derpy because I did this really fast for its model because at this time I knew that there was a texture artist modeler that was willing to work with this. So if I hold down control, you can see it will pick up the dirt that's in front of us, put it in its inventory if I wasn't in creative and picking everything up in my own inventory. If we look at it out here, you can see I've got the dirt sitting on the blade there. If I move around, you can see a little better. And hold down control, go over these low spots, and we start filling in the low spots. Something that lots of people wanted. It will fill in water holes. So that actually came from people on my stream and on the forum post, just wanting that to be a thing. Then we've got the combine. The combine itself, just like the real world, will pick up harvest your crops. So let's drive this over here to where the tractors are sitting with all their crops behind them. Come on, combine. And here we go. I'm going to hold down control and it will pick up my crops. Notice that it does not harvest anything that is not full grown. Very useful. and it goes right into the combine's inventory. The next one is the excavator. Excuse me, I need to sneeze.
Microphone muted. Microphone activated.
Okay, sorry about that. Here is my excavator. The excavator works completely different from all the other blocks or all the other machines. Hello. Blade of Ninja. There we go. That's how you say it. Wow, some of these names, like when they're all the same case like that, it's hard for me to separate what words are. So if I hold this down and just look, if I hold down Control, which is my sprint key, I will dig wherever this is looking. So think of this as an excavator with a jackhammer attachment to the end of it. So it will break blocks wherever you look. Something that was a heavily requested thing to put into Minecraft, but in reality, it's not as useful as what you'd think because excavator, it's a little funny to control. It's a little slow. I mean, yeah, Pit breaks the blocks instantaneously as soon as it touches them, but the arm getting there is slow. Something like the bagger is way better at just clearing out an entire mountain. Next up, we've got a truck, just a semi-truck. This was a big change in this version. So before the semi-truck, when you crafted it, it looked like that one back here with the flatbed on it. But the truck by itself really doesn't do a whole lot. It's when you add an attachment to it for its bed, or its trailer really. Take this off, the bed goes away. If I put it back on, it's there. And if I back up, and hopefully that's not down too low for us, the loader there. If I back up into this loader, you can see that we'll grab the loader out of the world and move it around. Yes, I'll be making more live streams. I will live stream a lot, hopefully. And we can drive it around. The idea of this is eventually it's going to be a little bit faster than all the other machines. Right now it's not. Hold down Control, I can place it back in the world. Also, when you pick them up and move them this way versus moving the item that you can pick up by shift-clicking on the machine, you will keep the fuel level that's in the machine. That's another benefit. You can see the wide bed truck carries various different machines. This isn't a complete list, just a few. Over here, where this is ugly-looking trailer is for animals. It's not functional yet. This one here is for fluids. It is functional. It will pick up oil, which is kind of a work in progress. And this one here, which is also not functional yet, but it will pick up items and haul items around. That's the idea for this one. So those are kind of a work in progress, these three here. But the flatbed truck does work. And that's kind of it, guys. I think I've gone over all of the blocks, or all of the machines, I should say. I do have Twitter. That's probably TechStack LP or TechStack. Can't remember which one. I do use Twitter a lot, though. Like, I'm on Twitter all day long. So that's all of that. Oh, I need to go over the fuel. Let's go over the fuel real quick. So we've got a fuel pump. We've got a fermenter. We've got a distiller. And I'm going to drop down here, go back out of this mode. And so we need a fermenter down that has a pipe coming out of it. It is directional. It will point in the direction that you are, kind of like a piston, basically. Then you need a distiller. Then you need a fuel pump. These are the basic setups. And you can add additional distillers to a fermenter. And you can add additional distillers, to a fuel pump. Like so. So that you can get your maximum efficiency kind of thing going on here. The fuel pump, or I'm sorry, the fermenter needs corn in it, and it will start fermenting it. You have to wait a period, and it will send its fermented mash that it's going to make into the distiller. The distiller doesn't need any corn or anything, but it needs a fuel source. So, coal. Coal in here, once it gets some fermented mash from the various fermenters, we'll turn that into actual fuel and pump it out into the fuel pump that it's attached to. And you can see there's actually fuel being created on here. So we must have taken, we took one of these, it's turned it in fermented mash, it's moving over into the distiller, and that distiller is just automatically processing it over into here, consuming fuel, the coal, as it does so. Now, if I take a fuel can, oh, we don't have an empty one, so let's get a crafting table. Crafting table, there we go. And we want a lid with a spout. I highly advise getting NEI and playing with NEI.